Well, thank you for joining us today. I have Christine Garcia from the Colorado Children's Wellness Center here with us, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her practice and how they uniquely help families who are going through divorce. So thank you, Christine, for joining us.
Of course, and thank you for having me, Leslie. I am one of the owners of Children's Wellness Center of Colorado. We have locations in Centennial and Steamboat Springs currently, and we really seek to serve as many family members as possible through our services. We provide mental health care for children, adolescents, and their parents and caregivers, as well as young adults and family members, other family members, as well as full families. And we really try to reduce barriers to treatment so that all family members can get their mental health needs met in a way that's a little bit more convenient than trying to set up different appointments with different therapy offices. So all of our therapists are able to work with all ages. We work hard to make sure that they're well trained in working with all ages and have kind of more of a specialty would be working with younger children. So we're all trained in synergetic play therapy. Play therapy is a technique that's used for younger children who don't have the words to communicate what might be going on internally because play is their language. And so we learn how to listen through the use of play. So that's a little bit about us and what we do and how we seek to serve our community.
That's awesome. And one of the coolest things that I think about your practice is that when you kind of mention about having the appointments be convenient, it's really true. Like you will have the mom can come, the dad can come if they want separately or together as a couple, and the kids can come, and you guys accommodate all of them at the same window of time, which I find amazing and like revolutionary because it's so hard to get all these different appointments going on a calendar. The whole family can come and there's a therapist there for everybody and you guys work as a team. I just think that's amazing. So I want people to know that about you in your practice.
Yes. COVID times have made that even more convenient in the way of telehealth. So sometimes, depending on, we are seeing clients in person still and plan to resume that fully as more of the restrictions are lifted and things get back to the new normal, or maybe not back to, but spring forward to the new normal. But what telehealth has allowed us to do is to even make it more convenient for our families. And so if we have a child and the family really prioritizes that child needs to be seen in person, but maybe mom could be down in the car on telehealth with her therapist and using that hour that the child's in their individual therapy to be doing therapy for herself. And the reason that we have our practice designed that way, Leslie, is because we know that children's mental health is so much enhanced when parents are getting their needs met in that way also. And we also know that that oftentimes children can get stuck in their progress if there's family dynamics that are interfering or ways that parents may not have awareness about how some of their patterns might be interfering with the child or having an impact on the child. And so sometimes that's, resolved through doing parent consultation work through the child's therapy. But oftentimes we find that if that's not meeting the need, then the parents might really benefit from getting their own individual therapy. And so far we've had really good feedback from our families that they feel comfortable with us as a center to be able to meet everyone's needs. So we're really grateful when families honor us with trusting us to help everyone.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. Just amazing. I have a question. So we have a lot of clients that come in and like, we're finally getting divorced. We've been wanting to do this for a long time. We know we're kind of heading this direction, but we waited until the kids were out of the house and now we're ready to do it. Can you tell us, sometimes that probably is a great thing if they can really keep it together, but are there instances where you would maybe not recommend that? Are there times when it's like maybe a divorce could be a better thing than trying to stay together if certain factors are there? So maybe you could share with that a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that these are such delicate and personal matters to each of us and the decisions that we make. And I don't think there's, a full yes or no answer or right or wrong because so much depends on each family's individual circumstances and the factors that are contributing to the reason that a divorce is the decision that the parents need to make. But what I can tell you is that I think that people default to thinking that getting divorced is going to be the less beneficial decision for the children, or the impact to the children is going to be greater than what the benefit could be. In addition to that, I would say that parents, oftentimes kind of feel like they're setting an example for their children about how a relationship should look, and that staying together at all costs is a value that they want to instill. And yet maybe both people are completely miserable, or one person is completely miserable. And what I can tell you about that is that I've had adult therapists. Oh my goodness, we have adult therapists, yes, but adult clients that reflect on their childhood experiences coming from divorce. And there are some absolutely that say, that was a really difficult time for our family and had an impact on me. And then there's others that say, either my parents are still together, but they really shouldn't be. I wish they would have divorced a long time ago. It's really a dynamic in our family that's really unhealthy and is stressful for everyone, and something that I've had to live with for a really long time that has made me question whether relationships can they really bring you that much joy? I've seen my parents just, really struggle with the relationship. And so the very intention of the parents to stay together for the benefit of the children actually ends up becoming not the actual benefit that they're hoping for, because they see their parents living in misery, or, worse yet, being harmful to each other because they are so just unhappy with how the relationship is, or what's happening in the relationship. So I think we often forget that, for kids, they want to see their parents happy. They want to see their parents regulated emotionally. They want to see their parents feeling joy. And if that's not happening, and if people are, living in kind of misery, so to speak, I think there actually can be a negative impact on the kids from staying together over choosing to separate. And it really is such an individual choice. And that's something that our team does also help with if parents are considering or needing to work through, I'm thinking about maybe divorce is the better option for us, but I'm just not sure. And having the dedicated space to really think through that and talk through that fully, I think can sometimes be such a benefit instead of just trying to sit with that ourselves, and maybe letting some of the old messaging from our own, our parents, or the grandparents, I guess, of the children, but the adult person's parents, beliefs, values that they've been told that don't necessarily fit now that they're in the situation of contemplating divorce. And those old messages can sometimes get in the way of us making decisions that are in our best interest as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. That's really good. Boy, my head's just kind of spinning. There is a lot. I know a message that we always got was, "Oh, that's so good that you're fighting. It's so good." And I was really fighting quite a bit. I mean, I've had families that do a lot of fighting. If you're getting praised for fighting, hopefully it's nicely done, or but not,
right.
It can be so damaging. But anyway, so that you're right, like kind of those old messages that we have from our own childhoods. Well, that's interesting. Well, thank you for sharing. Can you tell us again kind of where your offices are and how we could get in touch with you, or how people can get in touch with you?
Yeah. So one of our offices is right in Centennial, over near the Centennial Airport, actually, off Arapahoe and Peoria. There's also the Family Sports Center over there to give some mile markers. And then our other office is in Steamboat Springs, and we're kind of in a newer development area over there, and we are hoping to continue to expand our services here in 2021 in that area as well. So yeah, we have multiple therapists available. Obviously, that's how we meet everyone's needs, and we're actually looking at expanding our office space here in 2021 to grow our team bigger and be able to serve more families. So to reach us, you can go to our website, which is CWCCOLORADO.com. Stands for Children's Wellness Center, and then Colorado spelled out.com, info@CWCCOLORADO.com, and 720-662-7862. You will be first talking to someone who will screen you, meaning in your family's situation, just to make sure we have some background information, make sure that we are the best fit and we are equipped to meet your needs. And once we know that we have a pretty good shot at being able to meet your needs, then you'll be matched with a therapist, or all of the members of your family will be matched with different therapists. If you're interested in family therapy as a starting point, please make sure you say that when you call. Otherwise, we will work to get everyone hooked up with a therapist that'll best meet their needs and be able to support and help your family through this process, after this process, even in contemplating leading up to the decision to divorce.
That's awesome, because I do get a lot of calls with people saying, you know what, I think this might be what we have to do. Let me just check it out. And then sometimes we'll get going through the divorce process and they realize they don't really want a divorce. They're just not there yet. And so I'm so glad that we know you, that I can go ahead and say, hey, here's a place that can, really help the whole family, if you have kids or not, and just help you guys get on a path. Because boy, if you think there's a chance, that's a great thing if there's a way to, work it out and not have to go through this whole process. So we're totally in favor of that. And I'm glad that we can send them your way and have those resources.
Yes, absolutely. And I do, just to that point, want to mention that sometimes people can become so avoidant of their problems that it builds to the point that they think divorce is the only answer. And oftentimes I think having some tough conversations and being able to identify what's really not working can really be beneficial. And so whenever it's safe between a couple to explore through couples counseling what some of the issues might be that have led to this point, I think that's a really great thing to do. No matter what decision is made at the end, I think people always assume that couples counseling is only for, trying to save the marriage. And I think sometimes it can also be a way to come together in a way to say we both want to end this marriage and we don't have to hate each other in order to do that. Maybe we can just say, you've hurt me and I've hurt you and this has not worked and we really have tried our best and now we need to figure out an exit strategy that's going to keep our family from suffering any further. And so how do we do that well?
I love it. Oh my gosh, I could talk to you for a long time. Well, thank you so much. I think we'll wrap it up, but please check out her website. I know that you guys are just such a great resource for people that are, struggling in lots of different ways, but for the family. And thank you so much, Christine, for your time today.
Thanks, Leslie, again for having me. Appreciate it.